Hey, Coach John W. Davis with the Southern California News Group. As your team's winning streak has just gone on and on and on, obviously you've had a lot of time to think about it. How do you quantify why this team was able to turn it around kind of right at that point and win all these games?
I mean, we hit some low lows this year, and I think at some point you just have to look in the mirror. Everybody had to look in the mirror. Talking to my dad was my first coach, and I would call him and he'd say, "You're going to figure it out. You'll figure it out." And I think a lot of us made those phone calls to our trusted people, and it wasn't a matter of can you or will you, it was you will. And I think just speak in those moments. This team has been a little bit different in the sense of we've never gotten our butts beaten as bad as we have this year. At the beginning of the year, we never experienced stuff like that. We've never been on that side of the ball. And so you have to do some serious self-reflection, and I think they all did that individually. They came together collectively and said no more. And it's mindset and a belief in each other, and they were really intentional about building back up trust with each other on the court.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach. I'm just kind of curious. You spent time with NBA, WNBA player, coach, all this stuff. Where have you seen the game of basketball evolve the most? Whether it's something on the court, something off the court with the players, anything in general?
Yeah, I would just say overall skill set, the fluidity of the game, the skill set. Just in the W, people were not playing how these women played back when I was playing. There was a few, but this league as a whole has a very high skill set. It's hard to go full speed and put spin on the ball and have it kiss perfectly off the glass. That's a very detailed, tough shot. People doing a lot of step back threes, like it's just a lot of things that take a lot of work. Runners, floaters. You're seeing more and more women come with those skill sets, and just overall finishing at the rim. Finishing should be a part of every player's routine, big, small. Learning how to finish around the rim and be effective around the rim, and then obviously the game is faster. So I think it's just a funner way to play. I wish my coach would have said, "Hey, go shoot 15 threes if you can," but if Jewel can get up 15 threes, I'm good with it. Let it fly. So it's just played differently, but I do think the skill set, the moves that they're making is really elite. It's really fun to watch.
Hey, Coach.
Hi.
A couple things. One, are the players still doing the scouting reports for every game? Is that still happening?
Yeah, they have their own little secret meeting that they kick us out of for 15 minutes. They've already gone over things and looked at things. Then I come through, I read through it, I tell them if I like it, I tell them where I don't like it, or maybe I present a side of did you think about when this happens? And let them kind of sort through that and figure out how they want to defend things. But the ownership on the defensive end has gone up tremendously.
And then for you, your staff changed a lot this year without Natalie and Tyler. I'm wondering what the adjustment period has been for you just to get comfortable with the group and figuring out how everyone works, even off the court.
Yeah, that's the thing with chemistry is it just takes time. You got to see people in different situations to understand and know them better. You have to observe them, in high pressure situations, low pressure situations. So, how I like the scouting reports done. What are some specific markers that I like to look at? So they learned that, and if they didn't know, CT was telling them. So she's been a real rock for me this year. But yeah, everybody's kind of in the right groove, us as a staff and the players, and there's some chemistry growing there. So, and again, that takes time.
Hey, Coach. Rashawn Haylock with the broadcast. Those player-led scouting reports, who's sort of the leader of that? How'd that come about?
I'll give you two guesses. Actually, we did it.
Chelsea.
She she would be your number 2 guest probably, but Aisha.
Yeah, that would.
Aisha comes in with a laptop.
Wow. And then last time you were here, I think it was Joel's second game coming off the bench, so it was still fairly new. Now that this is kind of been a part of the dynamic of your team, how has she sort of embraced that role, and what does she give you in that role?
Well, anytime you have to walk over a player coming in off the bench, you have a special player. You have to pay attention to her. You can't just act like Joel Lloyd didn't just check into the game. So when you're defensively going over the other team's things, I mean, she's somebody you got to talk about. And I think anytime you have those kinds of players, you know, everybody in this league, it's enough. Most of the time you're guarding enough with that first group, like their actions and things that they like. And then when you get that wave of that second group, I think we can change gears with Dana at the point, with Jewel coming off and shooting. I mean, so it kind of just gives us different layers of our offense. But Jewel's been really great in that role. I wish I would have done it a little sooner. I think she would have got 6th Player of the Year, but we didn't make that move soon enough for her to be eligible for that award. But it is what it is. But she's been great for us.
Becky, I know in talking with Asia, her focus is on this game, finishing on a positive, and no other distractions really. But I'm watching the team wearing MVP t-shirts, and there can be some distractions. I mean,
Sure.
you're seeing gifts being sent out to people. I'm curious, how much do you talk with them? Do they talk with you, or do you have to worry about them balancing their focus on those sorts of things?
It's weird. This is a pretty tight group. Be included in that in their group, which makes me feel very special that they would invite me to their parties and whatnot. But I don't go. But but the thought is there. The thought is there. No, as a team, we can hang out and have a lot of fun with off the court. I think that chemistry is important there. And what I've learned with this group, honestly, from day one, I mean, we're missing some pieces, obviously, that we had in those first 2 championships. But what I have learned is that they are best when they are just authentically themselves. And going back to the beginning of this year when we had our struggles, I thought it was out of character. Some people playing out of character. And when you're not playing in character, you're not playing to who you are, it's bad results. And I think right now you're seeing just everybody kind of settle into who they are. I don't think Chelsea Gray was playing like Chelsea Gray at the beginning, and you can go down the list, but she's fully Chelsea Gray. Like she's been unbelievable in this stretch. Jackie's been unbelievable in this stretch. Jules had big moments, Dana. So I mean, it's really turned into a team effect. And they can get a little silly here now. I have to say, pay attention, lock in every now and then. But bottom line is, I trust them to show up when those lights go on for real, because they do like to have a good time with each other.
Last couple, please.
Coach, you've coached this team for quite a long time here and won a couple titles, and this team's right now on a historic run and about to enter the playoffs. So how does this team compare to those title champion teams?
I don't think, every team was different. 22 was different than 23. What bonded that 23 team was different than what bonded the 22 team. What bonded this 25 team is different than any of those years. The 25 team, I joke around, but I'm like, we set records, good ones, bad ones. Like, this is a record-setting team, no doubt. But we want to be on the good side of those records. And I think one thing that this team has had to build is resiliency and trust with each other. That doesn't just happen when everything's going good and everything's going great. 23 on the court, man, things were pretty easy. The league has changed in 2 years. People have caught up. The overall play is better. The league is better. And we lost a lot of structural pieces. So, again, that takes time. If somebody just walked in and said, trust me, you'd be like, okay, like, we're not, you have to earn the trust, you have to put in the time, and it just took time, and it's really hard to build that while you're losing. And I think the character of our leadership in that locker room is really what held it together. I remember telling them a lot of times, multiple times, you can ask them, we are so close. We are so close to turning this corner, and let me tell you, when we turn it, we're going to be scary. I said that at least 100 times to them because we were close, and there were moments where I thought we lost games we shouldn't have lost. Obviously, we got punched in the nose a couple games, so it took a beating, and I don't know, but that kind of rising up from the dust, like being in those low times with each other, built something with this group. And I'll just say, like, a lot of times, you know, the depth of your lows will also be equivalent to the heights of your highs. So sky's the limit with this team, and when they show up to play, they're a problem.
We'll finish with CP and then Nakai Sanzu.
One